Hi, Arrow.
Hello and good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. This is the movie. This is the movie everybody's going to be talking about. In radio, we call it water cooler conversation, but I think today it's grocery store conversation because people will stop shopping and talk about what they're seeing on TV, and Flowers in the Attic is going to be that movie.
I love that. I hope this is true.
Well, you're working with Lionsgate. I mean, Lionsgate has become that network or that superpower in creating movies and television shows.
You mean Lifetime?
But I mean, Lifetime is that's where it's showing up. But for the people to bring this all together, I mean, I just love the entire team that brought it all in.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah.
What was it like to do this? Because I mean, you're talking about V.C. Andrews. I mean, this is a storyline that people have read, and now you get to breathe life into the characters.
Yes, what's kind of what I think is a good thing is that I sort of had no idea when I took on the job quite the sort of magnitude to which people love these novels, and I think had I known that before, I would have been completely overwhelmed and daunted by the prospect. And since then, it's become one of the things that my friends back home are so excited about. I've never, in 27 years of a career, had friends that have been at all interested in anything I'm doing, and now they are. And it's so brilliant and fascinating that, I mean, having now read Flowers in the Attic, I can see why. I mean, they are such page turners. It hooks you in from the beginning. V.C. Andrews' writing is extraordinary, and it's a very interesting genre. We don't really have a similar genre back in the UK. It feels very unique. I remember it sort of being dubbed to me as American Gothic horror, but it's also sort of more than that. There's the family saga element, and it's I mean, incredible to. It's just so fun to become part of that journey, and also this character that is so well known, but so known in very sort of simplistic terms. As this awful woman, and we are telling such a sort of detailed and interesting story, shining a light on this. What actually makes up a human being and what causes her to become this person in the novel.
See, we grow with the character, and I think that's what's really is going to create the conversation, because in reality, don't we all know somebody that's a little bit off?
Yes, this is the thing. I'm so glad you said that. I haven't had a chance to talk about that because when I was reading it, there are a few people that have been in my life where I suddenly go, this is, I sort of know this person. And obviously this is a much more extreme version of that, but it's so sort of interesting because, monsters aren't born. Human beings aren't that black and white. There is so much grey, and there's so much more nuance to people and their behaviour. And I think that's what is tackled so brilliantly in the script for this. With this character, and I hope that the audience kind of see why Olivia makes some of the choices that she makes, and it goes a little way to explain how she sort of ends up the way she ends up.
I would love to see it maybe in daily writing or something of how you evolve into Olivia, because I've always been fascinated with how you can be having a conversation and all of a sudden you become the character, and it's like I love that moment.
You're probably giving me way too much credit. I literally I learn my lines and I show up and I hope that something happens. It's an interesting one. The accent helps. To be honest, I really connected immediately with the script when I read it. It didn't feel. I didn't have to go away and think about it too much. I feel like it was all there, and it was so well drawn. I think Max Irons, who plays Malcolm's much more of an enigma as a character. In the novel Flowers in the Attic, you hardly see him. You just hear about him. And in our show, he's on the surface maybe more one-dimensional seeming. But what Max did, which was so clever, and the casting of him was so clever, is that he's an incredibly sort of sensitive, charming human being. And he really sort of struggled to play, what is quite a monstrous person himself. And that brought something, extra element to it. And so I feel like, as an actor, he was doing a much better job than me. I was just doing what was there in front of me.
The Foxworth family, I mean, on the outside, everybody judges that book by its cover. But when you have someone like Malcolm, he's no ordinary man. No,
he is no ordinary man. Well, this is also the thing that you go, of which, Olivia, the silly sausage, she starts off as this very modern woman, this pretty strong together person, and yet there's obviously something in her that she didn't know, where she allows herself to be swept away by this guy who is on the surface charming and seems really into her, seems to get her. I think she feels like he sees her, and he certainly sees something that he needs from her, but it doesn't turn out to be quite the romance that it promises to be at the beginning.
Yeah, because it's a fairy tale that becomes a nightmare, and that right there, that's the hook. And then, you can't take your eyes off from it, because you're going, what's next?
Yeah, I'm glad you think that.
Wow. Well, congratulations with Flowers in the Attic, the origin on Lifetime. I just it's going to become the talk for the rest of the summer, and you're a part of that.
Oh, thank you, Arrow.
Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Yeah, you too.